long time I haven't done a real driving video. Welcome back to a messy commute home. This is supposed to be spring, guys. This is supposed to be spring. But this weather, winter just doesn't want to let go. So, how have you guys been doing? I've been putting up some content, like different content. I've been, creating some different videos and putting them up on the channel. And I've been, doing some news news items and stuff. So I encourage you guys to, watch the videos that I'm putting up on the channel. Like, share, subscribe, leave your comments. And I do go through the comments and respond. To persons who are commenting. So, I'm just trying to get the engagement up on the channel. So if you could all do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, and, drop your comments, drop your thoughts on any topic that you see me upload. So I just wanted to touch base on something that I saw on TikTok the other day about this young miss. And I don't know why us ladies, we love to put ourselves through so much torture in the misconception of beauty, or what society or ourselves because to me I don't think it's society that's considering these things as beautiful. But I notice a lot of us women, especially us black women, who were already born with certain assets, keep putting ourselves in danger to enhance the natural assets that we have, right? And I'm talking of the BBLs. There's been a lot of news in the media, of recent times, where a lot of women who have gone and done the BBL procedure, there have been a lot of them who don't make it out of the procedures. Sometimes it depends on where they go to have the procedure done. Maybe it's not exactly qualified persons doing the procedure, or sometimes the women, they do have underlying health issues which causes complications during or after the procedure. This infinity behind me is driving as if he thinks he can see clearly and there is nothing happening on the road. He's just darting excuse me, guys. He's just darting in and out of traffic like he thinks that everybody else is just, nobody wants to go home. We're just skylarking on the road. Anyways, so back to the BBL topic. So a lot of women have been not coming back from these surgeries, and some of them are being botched. I mean, there are a few that when they did the surgeries and they come out and they look really nice. Some of them overdo it. They get these ginormous implants, or well, it's not an implant, it's a BBL, but these ginormous, and to me it's off-centered deposits or these shapes, because honestly they do not look good, some of them. Now, this story about this young miss who she was telling her story. So she did do a BBL, and she did say she went to one of the cheaper places to do the BBL. And as we all know, yeah, so that's the infinity there that passed me, guys. So I hope he gets to where he wants to go safely. She went the cheaper route and went, she didn't disclose where she went to get her surgery done. And she eventually had to remove or do another surgery to remove or to reverse the BBL process. And in the midst of all of this, her boyfriend at the time left her, and her reason being is that she said her BBL stunk. She said she stunk, and the guy, he kept, commenting and letting her know that, her odor wasn't really pleasant, and I guess he tried sticking with her for as long as he could, until this one day she said that they were about to have relations, and it just turned him off, and he was like, no, I can't deal with this anymore. I can't deal with this stench anymore. This is ridiculous. And she was saying that she noticed as well that about her odor. So when she went out, or she had to constantly be walking with air freshener. So she was saying, sometimes when she walks or, moves or whatever, she would walk and spray just to mask the scent. And her description of the scent, she said, it smelled like something was rotting. Now, can you imagine you put yourself through so much torture, discomfort, spend so much money, and then at the end of the day, what you're left with is you're still in discomfort, as well as you end up losing your boyfriend because of a stench that is radiating from you. She said initially, when she smelled the scent at first, she did call the doctor who performed, and he told her that it was normal. So on listening to a few more videos, I got to understand why they said it was normal, because apparently after you do a BBL, so the BBL is where you suction fat from your tummy, or I guess other areas of your body, and inject it in your posterior, your derriere, right? And in the process, they're saying that you're suctioning the fat from the muscles. So when you suction the fat from the muscles, that leaves a little cavity between the muscle and where the fat is supposed to be, and you're depositing fat back into another area of the body, and apparently they poke holes in your body to do that suction. But in all of this, even though it is your body, you can suction from one part of the body, put it in the next, but that part of the body that you're putting the fat, it can reject the fat, or you can have certain infections. But what they're saying is that when you do the suction, it leaves that cavity there, so your body, is gonna build up fluids. So a part of the healing process is that that area has to, I guess, remain open for fluid to drain out. And that's why I think they say when you do a BBL, you have to wear a faja, which is almost like a compressed bodysuit, because your body, will swell. Your body will swell after the procedure. So when you wear that compressed bodysuit, it kind of helps to reduce the swelling, as well as you also have to do what they call a lymphatic massage, where you get someone, someone has to be massaging whatever areas, so that you don't end up having infection and you have to drain the liquid, the fluid that is going to be building up in your body after the procedure. So apparently for her, I don't remember if she said if it's just that the body wasn't accepting the reintroduction of the fat, but why she started stinking is that she got an infection. So the fat deposit became infected. So she had necrotic tissue, and she had to be rushed to the hospital, because now, guys, this is fat, dead fat in your body, right? Necrotizing tissue in your body. So that is a life and a here and a not here situation. You know what I mean? So, she chronicled her journey. I think she said she ended up having to remove part one of the video that she made, because you had some other females who have done BBLs, and they are upset because she said that it stunk. So they're upset because they think that she's saying that all persons who do BBLs stinks, but that's not what she was saying. She was saying for her BBL stunk, and that is because she had necrotic tissue after the procedure. And there have been so many more stories. She said that there are so many more women who are coming up to her, or not really coming up to her, but messaging her in her inbox. I guess a lot of them are embarrassed to come out in public, and a lot of them, are messaging her and sharing their experiences with her. Some of them have, gone through almost critical situations where they have to be rushed to the hospitals to, remove all the tissue. And there was one person who was saying that when they looked at her, it was all that infection that was just oozing from her body. But when you get it done, and if you have no infections and stuff, the holes, they do heal within, over time. But of course, you still have to do your lymphatic massages, and you have to do your proper aftercare. And hopefully, the tissue isn't rejected by the body. But I'm just saying, ladies, why are we doing these things to ourselves? Why? In the name of so-called beauty? That's not who are you doing it for? Because some of them, they will be doing it to attract the men, and the men are still gonna, a man will leave you no matter what, whether you're beautiful, whether you're unattractive. It doesn't matter how you look, whether you're rich. Look at all these, what we consider beautiful celebrities. A lot of them, how many times have some of them gotten married? You know, how many times have their partners cheated on them? You know, left them for someone average, left them for someone who is considered less attractive. You know, I mean, beauty comes from within. And in my opinion, you know, I would possibly only be doing a surgery if it's a life and you know what situation. But these cosmetic surgeries, they're not worth your lives. They're not worth your lives. You're gonna, you know, end up leaving your families, your kids, all in the name of what? And a lot of women are doing these surgeries to attract men. And when you look at the men have a keg in front of them. It's not as if they're not doing these surgeries to have a six-pack to match you. You know, you're putting your life in danger for a man who's gonna come with a keg in front of him, and he is not even attractive. So you're doing it for money, in the hopes that the man will have money and he will spoil you. Save that money that you're going to spend to do that surgery and take care of yourself. It just hurts me to see. And some of the times when you really look at some of these women, you know, their procedures are so out of whack. And some of them, you know, it's sad to say that some of them, they don't look good, they don't shape good. Some of them, I see some of them, they afterwards they shape like an ant, because they have these big bums, and then they have these little feet that, you know, look like some matchsticks or toothpicks on a big one. Just picture an ant walking upright. That's how some of them look. And you can't tell, I mean, I guess you can't tell them that they don't look good because they get highly offended. But when you look at them, you're like, did you really spend money to make yourself look that deformed? We need to embrace our natural selves, man. I mean, I know in today's world it's a lot of everyone is on the go. It's fast paced. Everything you want to do, you know, quick and fast. But you know, if you want some extra muscle on your body, you know, go to the gym, or if not the gym, you know, do workouts at home. You know, do exercises that, you know, reduce the size of your tummies, lift your butts, do exercises that lift your butts, you know, the natural way. Firm up and get your muscle in your bum, you know, get your tummy, you know, all nice and tight, get your flat abs and stuff. Just stop, honestly, just stop putting your lives in danger. You're basically paying for someone to unalive you. Does that make sense? There's one accident there. Right? You're basically paying for someone to unalive you. I'm sure you can find better use for your money. Your family needs you. Just think about it.